Let's just get in a few more strategies from Amit. Amit, first, of course, on some of the banking strategies that you have ahead of the credit policy. State Bank of India is another strategy that you're advocating?
Yeah, just before the credit policy, option walls of all banking stocks have really gone up. So Bank Nifty is at 32% and State Bank of India is at around 51%. Historically, it's been trading at around 25 to 28%. So we think after the credit policy, it should come down. The way we would like to trade SBI would be selling 2300 put options of January series, trading at around 2 rupees right now. So you make around 250 rupees on a margin deployed 30,000, which so basically you will make profit if SBI expires at any value above 2300. And currently at 2515, there is a lot of protection in the strategy.
The other one that you have, and since we are discussing metals, is on a Tata Steel as well. It's been consolidating, yes, you're right, between 400 to 420. But you are essentially buying on the premise that there could be a rate cut and there could be a positive movement on the stock.
Yes, there could be a positive movement because of rate cut, and slight movement also would benefit in this strategy because we are very close to expiry. So we think investors can buy 400 strike calls at 10 rupees and sell 2 420 strike calls at 2 rupees each. So you have 6 rupees invested. That's the maximum loss you'll have. And if Tata Steel, which is currently around 406 approximately levels, if it expires any value above this level, you will make benefit. Maximum profit, of course, will be at 420, which will be 14 rupees in this trade.
You're also indicating a strategy for the Bank Nifty, Amit?
Yeah, we do feel there could be a rate cut tomorrow. So we have a covered call strategy. Currently, 12,700 and 12,800 strike calls are trading at 179 and 123 respectively. So if you buy a covered call, it will cost you around 50 rupees. We think whenever this covered call price comes down to around 40 rupees, investors can buy this strategy. Maximum profit in this trade is 60 rupees if Bank Nifty moves beyond 12,800 level.
Mitesh, what about the deeply out of the money options on the Bank Nifty? Say maybe the 12,100 or the 12,200 puts. They're trading at what, 10, 12 if I'm not wrong. Assuming that you're working with the premise that there will be a rate cut, surely the Bank Nifty can't correct from 12,750 all the way to 12,200. Would you think of something like that?
Yeah, well, I think it can be taken. I think the trade I think is safe enough to be done, and I would be comfortable holding on to such kind of a trade. So yeah, I would be comfortable selling a deeply out of the money put option. We hardly have about 2 days, 3 days left to expiry. So yeah.
Okay, Bank of India, incidentally, since we're talking of banking, is now down to 2.5%. I think I was just speaking to Poonam, and the numbers, if you look at the note carefully, and now on the operating front, it was a very ordinary kind of growth. Absolute gross NPAs are down by just around 200 and 250 crores, but gross and net NPA ratios seem better because of the base effect. So it's been a very ordinary set of numbers, but some of the stock has now come off quite rapidly. And if you look at what the stock did just ahead of the numbers, it was up to 2.5 to 3%. So it's come off quite rapidly, almost 5% kind of an intraday move. Is there a trade here, Sandeep? While the Bank Nifty may be holding out, even that's come off a little bit from the highs of the day, but the Bank Nifty may be just in the green. Bank of India, from the intraday high, is down close to 5%.
It is not really. I mean, I see more weakness in Bank of India. If it breaks 354, I think it can go down all the way to 342, 344, another 8 to 10 rupees. So I would not take a trade, and I don't want to go short because the Bank Nifty is showing strength.
Okay, the other stock which has done very well is Ajanta Pharma. Mind you, came out with a splendid set of numbers, and on that day, the stock was up close to 10% or 20%, whatever the circuit limit may be, on very high volumes. Post that, it's been at those levels of 510, 520. In today's session, 8.5% again. So if you look at this month, it's gained 52%, and last week was the week when they reported the numbers. So very good growth and a jump on good volumes, mind you, over the last 3 sessions. I don't know, Prakash, I'm throwing this other dark at you. Do you track this one at all?
Oh yes, till now, one of the reasons this was ignored by the street was the scale. It's the big change that's happened in Q3 for this company is the kind of scalability that it's kind of started talking about. Even Q4 is likely to be a blockbuster because they have a couple of, their new drugs that they'd introduced, particularly in the African markets, they have received acceptance, which means that the billings could kind of start from, maybe early FY14, and then that could be a very different re-rating of sorts for the company, and that's exactly what you're seeing in terms of this build-up, and I think it'll manage to sustain itself on these elevated levels and go beyond.
Ajanta Pharma, I mean, 52% in this month, 8.5% just in today's session, knocking at 600. Before we let you go, Amit, a quick call on Reliance Industries and how you're positioning yourself in that stock.
Yeah, Tanvir, just after the results, Reliance rallied and moved to as high as 940, and it's been correcting after that. So it's consolidating at around 900 levels. Option walls of Reliance have also shot up to around 37%. So we think selling 940 strike calls of Reliance at around 1 rupee could be an interesting trade, because we think post the credit policy tomorrow, the wall should come down, and anyways, we don't think Reliance should go beyond 940. So you will get the entire premium of 1 rupee in this trade.
Okay, Amit, before we let you go, really, I'm just taking a moment. You've given 6 or 7 strategies. Your top strategy that you'd recommend for this expiry?
So I think SBI selling the 2300 put would be the best strategy, because the wall should immediately go down tomorrow. And we did some math. So this 2300 put will start trading at around 55 paisa tomorrow, just after this trade policy, even though SBI falls by around 4.5%.
If it does, that is the case, which may well not if indeed there is some positives coming out of the credit policy. Amit, good having you. Thanks so much for taking the time out and joining us. We'll of course look forward to have you next expiry, closer to next expiry as well. So that's the word from FinStream on their